How bad is my gut?
Very bad.
It's a pretty intense stack of treatments.
Ozone, peptides, IV drips, NAD, cryotherapy, LED.
NAD is a very strange feeling. It's a little bit hard to breathe and talk.
Feeling a little nauseous.
You're in a freezing cold chamber.
Like pain, sharp pain.
Hopefully my brain works better tomorrow.
Women are biohackers by nature. We're Lauren and Katie.
We're taking a look at the wildest health hacks
Wellness treatments.
and the most cutting-edge biotechnologies
We're taking you inside.
and unlocking the secrets only women could.
This is Biohack-HERS. Bioindividuality studies each person's unique health needs, coming up with customized plans instead of one-size-fits-all solutions. To nerd out on epigenetics, we visited Next Health, a functional medical center offering bioindividual testing and treatments, from gut health to inflammation markers, ozone therapy, and cryo. It's time for our next level checkup.
We're a health optimization longevity center. This is where you guys will be getting all your services today.
In advance of our visit, we did gene testing, basic labs, food sensitivity, and gut microbiome tests.
Just really excited for today. I can't wait to find out what our blood work says.
Absolutely, we're gonna go over your biomarkers and we'll come up with an individualized plan for each of you to meet your health goals. Come on in, guys. We'll come back to my office. We get the results and then we set up a consult. I can get to know them better, dive into their medical history. We touch upon their health goals.
So what I was hoping for with Next Health was, first of all, just to get a baseline of where I'm at. I wasn't sure how my health markers were gonna look. I was a little concerned I'd have a lot of inflammation or some issue that I needed to take care of.
I have your results, so we're gonna start with Katie, if that's okay.
Sounds good.
All right, Katie, tell me what's going on health-wise.
So I'm just really looking to optimize my health so that I can handle the stress of 12-hour work days and being on a flight twice a week. So anything that improves sleep, digestion, because travel can throw that off.
So we will start with your genetics, your 3x4 results. So you're more prone to oxidative stress and detoxification issues. Oxidative stress is any kind of stressor that we come in contact, whether it's the products we use, our environmental factors, pollution, the foods we eat, if there's any kind of pesticides, that can build up over time and cause inflammation. So predisposition to oxidative stress is basically saying that your body might not manage the oxidative stress. So we just want to support that and make sure that she doesn't hold on to that and it builds and builds and builds.
Well, sounds like something to be super aware of.
So basically we check CRP, your inflammation marker, and your inflammation marker was really low, which is a great sign.
Great.
I also have micronutrient levels, and you had a little bit of an imbalance.
But nothing major, just a couple things to tweak in terms of my micronutrients.
By correcting those imbalances, by recommendations I'll give you, you're gonna bring your body back to homeostasis.
Luckily, I didn't have anything major going on with me health-wise.
All right, Lauren, we're gonna go with you next. So tell me your health goals, kind of what's going on.
So I always have like these red bumps on my skin. The issues that I was hoping to address with the treatments were definitely my reoccurring skin reactions. And then on top of that, just clear energy and not brain fog. Energy-wise, like I always find I have a lull from like 1 to 4, where I feel like I really want another coffee.
With Lauren, I like to look at genetic predisposition.
Through my genes, I know I have the ApoE gene, which is high cholesterol.
Your LDL was a little elevated at 132, your triglycerides were elevated at 192, so we need to support this.
I know that I have to take B12 for methylation because I don't methylate 100%.
But basically you might only be absorbing like 10 to 20% of your supplements that you're taking. You're also at increased risk for gluten sensitivity. So the red bumps that you're having could be a systemic full body response to certain foods. So I would definitely cut dairy and gluten for the next 3 months. By doing the gut sensitivity test, by looking at her microbiome, by looking at what foods she's sensitive to, we're able to rebalance and heal the gut. Your microbiome, we need to work on your diversity. So kombucha, sauerkraut are good natural ways.
How bad is my gut?
Very bad.
Oh, really? What's hers like?
Not as bad.
Yeah, it must be all the years of antibiotics that I've taken over my life.
I started taking antibiotics at a young age because I got chronic strep throat 4 or 5 times a year. The doctor would always prescribe antibiotics, no other resources.
We have to go in and heal those years of the antibiotic use. If you don't address gut issues, that's going to just further increase inflammation. Also, Lauren has symptoms. She has brain fog. She has low energy levels. She has red bumps on her skin. So why not see if the gut heals those things. We should always be targeting inflammation. Inflammation's like opening Pandora's box. Inflammation can lead to autoimmune conditions, chronic diseases, and cancers. So you always want to keep inflammation as low as possible. That's going to help you age better. All right, so we have a full day of treatments for you ladies. So we're going to start with Lauren's Ozone, and then we'll do the IV drips for both you guys. All right, let's get started. Ozone therapy is a very powerful treatment. Research shows that it detoxifies the blood and then it decreases inflammation as well. And what we did for Lauren is we placed a large bore IV and we actually drew out about 250 mLs of blood.
I've never seen the spinning of the blood like that. What's that for?
The way it's spinning, it's keeping the flow in it and it's not coagulating. Because if it was just steady, then your blood could clot. We add ozone, which is the third oxygen molecule, to the blood. So this is the exciting part. This is when we're gonna actually start ozonating. So I'm gonna release the tourniquet. That whistling that you're hearing is simply just the ozone process. The only thing that you might feel is a little vibration sensation at the IV. The ozone is adding a third oxygen molecule to your blood, and then it actually is returned back into her bloodstream. And basically that breaks down the cell wall of any bacteria and virus. That in its entirety is one pass, and we actually do 10 passes. You're doing great.
So is it going back in?
It's going back in, and you're actually flowing quite nicely. We are drawing out 250 mLs of blood.
Looks like a lot. Like, what happens if it just like won't let me, put that blood back in? Am I gonna be okay?
Even though it looks like a lot of blood to the naked eye, you actually have all that blood returned. So you're not losing it.
It's a pretty intense treatment.
You might sleep really well tonight. You might feel energized.
Hopefully my brain works better tomorrow.
If you feel things, amazing. If you don't, that's still okay because it's working so profoundly internally at the cellular level.
I did feel some clarity afterwards, but it's not like an obvious, big change.
After Lauren's ozone therapy, I took both her and Katie to our IV lounge where they had IV therapy.
So with the IV, they have a nurse that comes, then she inserts the catheter. Then I basically just had to stay there for about an hour with the IV in.
Lauren, I have gut IV with NAD for you.
I also love the fact that, we got a IV that was curated. Usually I would go and just get an IV and not really know what should be in there, but because Next Health did all that testing, they knew exactly what I needed.
So for Lauren, I gave her gut IV that has B12 in it. It also has the glutamine, which is great for her gut health. And then I added the NAD, which is gonna help with her brain clarity and her energy levels. Katie, I have NAD 750 milligrams. For Katie, we just wanna support detoxification and oxidative stress.
NAD is a very strange feeling going into the body. Kind of makes your heart race. It's a little bit hard to breathe and talk depending on how fast it's flowing.
It literally makes you feel like sometimes that you're on a roller coaster and your stomach's kind of flipping a little bit. I'm feeling it's a bit intense right now, so I would like to slow it down a little bit. I'm like,
of course. With NAD treatment, sometimes you may feel some uncomfortable sensations.
I'm a little nauseous.
What are you feeling, a little nauseous? Or we just lower down the rate. I just wave a little bit of an alcohol swab in front of somebody's nose and usually that subsides.
It's like bringing me back to my body. After that, I felt fine. I was dripping slower. It definitely took longer, but I preferred that speed.
For me, the NAD IV wasn't super intense. I did feel my heart rate go up slightly, but it wasn't too bad overall.
Then I took Lauren and Katie to the procedure room where we did peptide therapy, thymosin alpha. Peptides are amino acids, building blocks of proteins. They perform different functions in our body. So this one decreases inflammation and boosts your immune system. So especially with their genetic predisposition, both of the girls can benefit from keeping inflammation markers as low as possible. So what we're gonna do, are you guys okay injecting each other?
Why not? Let's give it a try.
Yeah.
They decided to give the subcutaneous injection to each other. So how you inject is right there.
You kind of take a little chunk of, tissue and then you put the needle in.
Ooh, just go straight in.
Then you administer a small amount of the peptide into your stomach.
Ooh. Perfect.
Ooh.
It made that crunching noise that I wasn't expecting, so I was like, oh.
Easy.
I think sometimes people think it's a very scary process, but once you do it, it's a lot easier.
These high-waisted mom jeans are not good for belly shots.
Ready? It was kind of funny injecting Lauren. I think we definitely had different levels of comfort with needles.
Amazing.
Oh, I didn't even feel that. Good job. All right.
I'm curious to keep trying peptides out on my own. You know, you get the best results after a few months of use. It's definitely an area of further exploration for me.
So I had the girls jump into cryotherapy after, which is our cold chamber.
So take off all of our clothes.
So you take off everything. This is all you'll need. So you'll have socks and slippers to keep you nice and safe.
Cryotherapy can be uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. You're in a freezing cold chamber.
Negative 150 degrees is probably the coldest that you're ever gonna feel.
Oh my God. Woo.
Once you get in there, it just kind of takes your breath away.
But it's pretty much going into like a freezing freezer and staying in there for 3 minutes. The first minute and a half are kind of more uncomfortable. The second minute and a half can actually be like pins and needles, like pain, sharp pain.
So it will be uncomfortable. It's just more of a, what is your headspace? I think it's mind over matter.
I usually get through cryo by dancing around, listening to cool music, pretty much anything that takes my mind off how cold it is in there.
I kind of just like go into a meditative state, move my body around, try to warm up, try to laugh, try to enjoy it.
Because your body is totally in survival mode and you really just can't wait to get out of there.
Benefits of cryotherapy is eliciting that controlled fight or flight response of releasing norepinephrine and epinephrine. You're training your body to respond well to any kind of oxidative stressors.
Oh my God. Oh man.
We did it. Good job.
Ow, my arms hurt.
I find it really hard for me to warm up after, so it was really nice that they had the red light therapy and infrared bed for me to go in afterwards to warm up my bones.
Infrared light therapy is an amazing transition from the cold chamber, cryotherapy.
This is our LED light bed.
Red light is so good for your body, feeds the mitochondria, increases the cell production, makes your body operate better, energizes you, gives you amazing skin.
There are 7 different frequency levels to choose from, but I chose cellular vitality for her because it focuses on inflammation and making sure that her methylation process is supported, her detoxification processes are supported by keeping inflammation nice and low.
I don't know, I'm all down for red light and infrared anytime I can get.
So by having Lauren and Katie come in and do a full day of our services is a great way to kickstart their health optimization and longevity.
I felt incredible after the stack of treatments at Next Health. I mean, from the IV to the peptides to the cryo, I just felt completely reset.
I was literally on cloud 9. I felt energetic, I felt strong, was having one of my best days.
Next Health represents the future of longevity by really focusing on getting to the root cause and by identifying biomarkers that may be missed in Western medicine. We have amazing intervention looking at levels. I'm seeing the progression happen before my eyes. With more and more research happening, it will only grow.
I don't know necessarily if you need to do all of those technologies, but it is pretty next level to have like access to all of that stuff.